The theme is 2 easy ways to make money online in 2 hours without having a website, without needing to have any special technical experience or knowledge or expertise. So let's dive in. And here's my promise to you for this training. I'm going to teach you the exact process for 2 proven and fast money making methods that don't require you to have a website. That's my promise. There's many more methods, as you might imagine, but today, in the time that we have available, which is about 60, 75 minutes, I'm going to show you 2 in detail. Okay. As always, a couple of requests. First of all, if you can minimize your distractions and stay till the end, there'll be some benefits for you to do that. One is that you're going to learn a lot, which is why you're here. Secondly, I'm going to make an offer that will benefit your business. And thirdly, someone will win a great prize at the end. So stay to the end, and that could be you. That's me, in case you don't know what I look like. I present and produce a web TV show to help small business owners called Help My Business. You can see that at helpmybusiness.com if you haven't seen it already. And I am passionate about helping small business owners and entrepreneurs to build a better business, to stand out from the crowd. And this one's a little different, the training today, because it's really very specific strategies that can help you to make money in terms of cash flow very quickly. So to build a really kind of substantial multi-million-dollar business, this is not what you would use, but in order to make money fast and help your cash flow, pay the bills and so on, this method and these methods that I'm going to show you are perfect for that. Just to lead into this with a bit of humor, when I travel, I love to take photographs of the most crazy business signs that I come across, and I like sharing them. If you've seen the show for a while, you'll have seen some of these that I share on the show. And so I call these "What Were They Thinking?" because that's what goes through my mind when I see some of these crazy, outrageous business signs. So I'd like to share a few of them with you today, just a bit of humor to get us going here. Always open. Closed. Yes, not very good. Pizza Hut, the best slogan they could possibly come up with was, "We have pizza." Terrible. Oh my goodness. What were they thinking? Not creative at all, is it? How about this one? Antique tables made daily. Yes, I don't think they quite understand the word antique there. How about this one? Come and wait restaurant. Well, that might be true, but it's hardly something you want to advertise, is it? The very creatively titled Boring Business. Where do you work? I work at the Boring Business Systems. You can pick any name in the world. And what do they pick? Boring Business Systems. What were they thinking? How about this one? Equally crazy. The Hazy View Eye Care Center. The Hazy View Eye Care Center. Again, you can pick any name in the world for your business. Hazy View is what they chose. Nice. Apparently in Texas, they have way too many Christians than they possibly know what to do with, so they've opened up a Christian clearance center. Yes. What were they thinking? And then last, but by no means least, this was, I think this was in England, actually, rather embarrassingly. Herpes Pizza. Can you believe that? Again, you can pick any name for your business, and they pick Herpes Pizza. Terrible. Oh, dear. Oh. So I hope you enjoyed some of those. What were they thinking? A couple of questions to hopefully get you excited about this theme. How would you like to make an extra 500 to 3,000 or even more, possibly a lot more a month using your computer? If that sounds good to you, go ahead and type yes in the chat box so I know. Hopefully it does sound good. Sounds good to me. And secondly, how would you like to make the extra cash without any special technical knowledge or a website? You won't need either of those. Again, if that sounds good to you, type yes in the chat box. I love the interactivity. It shows me that you're with me and that you're ready to learn. Okay, good. Well, let's dive into these methods. There's a number of benefits to what I'm going to show you. First of all, you can make money fast. Secondly, anyone can do it. Third, you can choose your own schedule, or schedule as we like to say in England. It's little or no cost to get started, so you don't need any money to get going with it. You can do it from anywhere, and you don't need any employees. So that's in addition to not having a website or not needing a website and not requiring any technical knowledge. So 6 plus very helpful benefits. One quote that I like to, this made an impact on me many, many years ago when I was first getting started in internet marketing. And that was from Zig Ziglar, a very famous sales trainer here in the States. And he said, you can get everything in life you want if you would just help enough other people to get what they want. And I really like to live by this quote. And I found it to be true. So, in terms of thinking about other people, what is it that they want? Well, there's a number of things, number of ways that we can help them through these methods. First of all, they want to save money. Secondly, they want to make money. Third, they want to avoid pain. Fourth, they want to save time. And fifth, they want to save effort. That's all very logical, isn't it? But it's good to think about these things because, as Zig said, if we help enough other people get what they want, automatically you'll find that you'll get everything that you want. That's certainly been true for me too. So focusing on helping other people. So when it comes to e-commerce, there is a tremendous opportunity. No question about it. I've experienced it firsthand. I want you to experience it too. And just for clarification purposes, for those of you that haven't bought anything online, a hand doesn't actually come out of the monitor to give you the items that you've bought. So I just wanted to clarify that to you in case you were wondering about that. A couple of facts about the internet, again, just to set the scene. First of all, there's about 3.5 billion internet users, so about half the world's population can access online. And secondly, those internet users spend $1 trillion buying stuff, and that was in the last year. So we can't possibly comprehend that figure. It's just too big. But when you see the zeros there, you kind of get an idea of just how big it is. And the logical question is, are you ready for your slice of that? Because even a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage is actually a significant amount of money. So the key to what I'm sharing with you today is called the match-up strategy. This is the principle that's involved here. And the big secret is explained as follows. While most people struggle to build a website and then struggle even more to get traffic or visitors to that website, you can make money now easily by simply matching eager buyers who are looking for something specific with sellers who already have the item. But they simply don't know where the buyers are. So that's the essence of what this is talking about. Okay, this is the essence of this system, this principle, the match-up strategy. So this is it in visual format. There's buyers and there's sellers. You are the one that facilitate the deal. That's it. So I was going to show you 2 methods today, and I'm going to show you them in detail so that you can follow along and implement them yourself. So the first strategy, match-up strategy number 1, as I've creatively titled it, is mobile website arbitrage. And this will take you about 20 minutes to get started with it, to actually do it. And the earning potential is very high. So let's go into the details. First of all, a description or definition of what this is. It's a system to offer website owners a mobile-friendly version of their website. Your cost to have the work done is $5, and you can charge the website owner at least $199, making a minimum profit of $194 each time. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So, let's show you the steps. First of all, this is what the difference is between a mobile optimized website and a standard website. So on the right hand side, you can see what a website looks like if you pull it up on a phone where they haven't adapted it for mobiles or cell phones or smartphones, whatever you want to call them. On the left hand side, you can see one that has been optimized. Now, I'll mention this a couple of times, but what you see on the left hand side is not a different website. It is simply a version. It's displaying some of the elements of the website on the right hand side, but in a different format. Okay, so it's not creating a whole new website. And what happens is when a mobile goes to a website, if a website has a mobile optimized or has been optimized for a mobile, it senses that. There's a little piece of code that will tell it, and then that's how it displays, that's how it knows to display the mobile version. So first of all, how do we find the customers for this? How do we find the ones that are ready to buy? Well, I'm going to give you a number of strategies to do this. They all work, and you can pick the ones that you would like to do. The first one is a Craigslist ad, which is free. So what you do is you go to Craigslist, you go under services to computer, click on computer, and this is the ad that I use. How to instantly get 50% more customers for your local business. Is your website compatible for mobile devices? Did you know that right now 50% of all local business searches are done on mobile devices? A traditional website is great, but without a mobile version, you're losing customers every day. I'm going to have a swig of water. Most websites appear to be all jumbled up or are very difficult to use when viewed on a mobile phone or a smartphone. Then it gets them to do a little test to pull up their own website, and they can see that it's difficult to read the text and move around and scroll and click. And then it gets them to open Staples.com, the well-known company, and they can see the difference for themselves. And then it says what is offered to them, the price, and a money-back guarantee, and then the contact details there. So that's it, free ad on Craigslist. The second way to find customers is to email members of local business groups like BNI, Business Networking International, or roundtable groups, or meetup groups, or local chamber of commerce groups, that kind of thing. And the reason that you want to approach them is because, first of all, they're easy to find, and secondly, they are business owners who are willing to invest in their business. And most of them already have a website, but most of them don't have a website that's optimized for viewing on a cell phone. Now, if you go using BNI as an example of a business group, and this applies to meetups as well, you can go to bni.com, you can search for anywhere in the world. Here's an example of Australia, and they have BNI groups literally all over the world. So you can search for any specific area, and you can find the contact details of those members of the BNI groups there. And this is what I tell them. For a $199 one-time fee, I actually charge more, by the way, but $199 is the minimum I would recommend. For a $199 one-time fee, I'll make a mobile-friendly version of your existing website to allow customers to more easily see what you offer whenever they use their mobile devices. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? And I like to go I like to approach people in my local area, because I can say then, you know, I'm local to you in the whatever it is area, and it just makes it a bit more friendly and personal. The third way to get customers is to look for other people's Craigslist job postings. So let me show you what I mean by that. If you look under jobs and then the web section of jobs, you'll find people there that are actually asking for this service. So here's an example. I need someone to design a mobile app for my website. Okay, so they're asking for this service. So they're ready-made customers, obviously. The fourth way is to create a free Yellow Pages listing that offers the service. So here's how you do that. You go to yellowpages.com. Under Advertise with Us, click on Submit Your Free Listing, and then fill in your contact details. Select the Web Design and Development category, and that's it. You'll obviously, once the ad is there, it's free, you'll receive calls from people that are looking for that service because you're in the right category for it. The fifth way to get customers for this service is referrals from existing customers. And this is a brilliant one, because once you have one customer, you can always make that lead on to many more. In fact, if you just get your first one using those other 4 methods, all you need from that point on is this referral system. So this is how I do it. After the sale is done, I say in blue there, you can see, I'm really pleased that you're delighted with your new website. I wonder if you could help me out with something. Sure, you know, that's what they say. What is it? I'm really interested in helping other people who have an existing website but don't have a mobile site yet. Who do you know that could benefit from my service? Wait for their response. You don't mind me using your name as an introduction to you? Who else do you know that has an existing website that doesn't have a mobile site yet? It's that simple. And if you use this system, and if you ask for referrals consistently after every customer, this is literally all you need. So you just need to get that first one with the other 4 methods, and that will lead to others, many, just unlimited, by using the referral script that is here. How do you get paid? Well, however you want, basically. Cash and check are obviously easy. PayPal is also easy, much less intimidating than most people think it is. If you don't have a PayPal account, you can go to paypal.com, just click on set up a new account, and within 5 minutes you can be up and running to accept PayPal payments. And a lot of people do like to use PayPal if you can give them that option. Right, well, how do you get the site created? As some of you may have guessed, it's through a nifty outsourcing resource called Fiverr.com. Now, if you are familiar with Fiverr, probably you weren't aware that you can get this done on Fiverr, I suspect, because not many people are aware that you can have this particular service done on Fiverr. So let me show you how to find these people. If you go to Fiverr and type in mobile website into the search box on the right-hand side, you'll see the results, and then you want to sort the results by rating. In other words, in order of who has the highest rating, to find the best providers. Then you simply click on one of them to look at their samples. You can scroll through examples of their work, and you can see this is exactly what we're looking for. And then, of course, hire them to do the service. They tell you how long it's going to take, in this case 5 days. So to the client, your client, I always tell them it's going to take 7 to 10 days, under promise, and then you can over deliver, keep them happy. And you can also look through all of the details of what they provide and other people's reviews of that service. As you can see here, this person has 76 positive reviews, 0 negative reviews, and obviously, you know, it's a no-brainer. They have a 100% success rate. So a couple of questions that come up with this are, first of all, how do you specify what the client wants? Well, you don't, in short. Again, this is, in fact, I think I have a slide on this. Yeah. Let me read this text and then I'll explain it a little bit more. A mobile version of a website can be created without needing to log into the owner's control panel. The Fiverr provider takes the existing menu items and graphics and buttons and so on. They make big buttons and they display the existing text larger to be more readable on a cell phone. So again, this is what they're doing is they're creating a version or what they're doing is they're taking elements of the existing site and they're formatting them, I guess is the best way of putting it, in a different way so that it's easier to use. So if you've got 5 menu items, they'll create those 5 menu items as larger buttons. And likewise with the text, they'll make the text bigger. So it's not a design task. It's simply an optimization for viewing. That's why you don't ask the client what they want. You'd simply tell them that you're going to make their website viewable on a mobile device. That's a very important thing to understand, because you're not getting into all the nitty-gritty details of, well, what do you want, and back and forth. It doesn't work that way. You simply tell them what you're going to give them, which is a mobile optimized version of their site. Now, when the work is done, the Fiverr provider will give you a piece of code to pass on to the website owner with instructions of what to do with it. You do not have to do anything technical. All you simply need to do is pass that code on, and that the website owner just does whatever they need to do with it, what's explained. Now, if you follow the exact process that I've shown you, it works. If you overcomplicate it in your own mind, then you'll get bogged down with unnecessary details. This works if you keep it simple, and there's no reason not to keep it simple. I've never had anyone complain about the quality of the work that they've done or the design elements. I've always had excited, happy customers. So don't overcomplicate this in your own mind. We tend to overanalyze these things, and it's really not necessary. Okay, so let's summarize how to do this. First of all, use the 5 methods we reviewed to acquire customers. Secondly, use a proven provider from Fiverr to do the work for $5. Third, charge the customer $199 minimum. Fourth, repeat the process over and over. It's that simple. It really is that simple if you just do it. It's proven, it works. So the question at this point is, who do you know that has a website? The best type of client for this is anyone, as I explained in How to Get Customers, any local business owner that has a website. They are ideal for this. The reason they're ideal is because they're easy to reach. Their websites generally aren't optimized for mobiles, and they have very simple websites that are very easy to do. You don't want to get into a big kind of e-commerce site or sites with lots of, like a national company or things like that, because that's when you can get into technical challenges. So if you keep it simple, just as I've shown you, all of these local business types are perfect for this strategy. They work without any hassle. Now, if you were to do this strategy just twice a week, which would take you less than an hour, that's $400 a week or $1,600 a month, which is pretty impressive for something that's so simple to do. I think you'll agree. So, well, if you do agree with me, if you can see the potential, if you're excited about what I've just shown you, please type yes, or sounds great, or yippee, or whatever comes to mind. in thinking about this, because I want to know that you've seen the benefit of this very simple strategy. So please give me some feedback in the box on the right hand side there. Give me a yippee or a yay or whatever phrase you would naturally use. I'm going to take a swig of water and read some of your comments. Okay, good. Thanks. Yeah. And we are live, by the way. I know some people think that these things are recorded, but I do see your comments. Carl, yes. Bob, yes. Joey, yes. Tiffany, sweet. I like that. Fantastic, says Sally. Ian says, is it legal? Yes, it's completely legal. Bob says, wowzer. Michael says, very clever. C says, so simple, it's brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Oh, thanks for your feedback. I appreciate that. That's really nice to know. Henry says, yippee. Mark says, yes, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Okay, good. All right. I'm really happy to hear that you feel that way. And I do too. That's why I wanted to show it to you. And we have another one coming up. So let's dive into the second Money Now strategy. And I'm excited to show you this one too. Completely different, but the commonality is, again, it's the match-up method. It doesn't require you to have a website. It doesn't require you to have any special technical skills. So, oh, actually, I wanted to share a testimonial with you. This is a comment from someone that I trained in Australia. She said, I attended the Money Now training in Sydney, and I want to thank you for the awesome techniques you taught us. I've already lined up $700 worth of business, 2 mobile sites at $350 each. See, she took my advice to charge more. So far, thanks to you and your techniques. Oh, and I did that the day after the event. What it was I did a training event in Sydney, Australia. And that's the only time that I've ever taught this live, by the way. So you are in at the ground floor in learning about this. Okay, so let's move on to the second matchup strategy. I call this the matchup strategy number 2. All right, number 2. I like to amuse myself with these little British humor. So this is called the exact match domains, okay? And again, it'll take you about 20 minutes to implement it, and the earning potential is also high. So that's a good thing, right? Let's show you the exact match domains strategy. Here's a definition of it. EMDs, which stands for exact match domains, are very valuable. An EMD is a .com, a .net, or a .org domain name that contains a keyword phrase that exactly matches words being searched on Google. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. And don't worry if it doesn't, because I'm going to show you some examples. So when someone types into Google the phrase public liability insurance, and these examples are from around the world, by the way. I'll show you this works anywhere, any country. You can see that one of the results on page 1 of Google is the website that has the domain name Public Liability Insurance, and that is in Australia. So can you see there the words that someone typed in that they were searching for? The domain name exactly matches what they were searching for. That's an exact match domain. Another example here, Miami Locksmith. And then we see 2 domain names, a .net and a .com on the first page of Google. Each of those are, of course, an exact match domain because they both have the words Miami Locksmith in the domain name. That's what a domain name, that's what an exact match domain name is. Another example here, WDW, which stands for Walt Disney World, Park Hours. Again, we see the website result here, Walt Disney World Park Hours.com. It's an exact match for what the person was searching for. And then Thai cooking classes, again, we see that exactly matched in the domain name there. Now, exact match domains aren't anything new. In fact, big companies are well aware of the power of them, and many well-known companies own exact match domain names, like Amazon owns diapers.com. Let's see, Enterprise owns rentalcar.com. Office Depot owns officesuppliers.com. And you can see the other ones there. Roto-Rooter owns plumber.com and so on. So this is obviously, they realize, all of these well-known companies, the power, the importance of exact match domains. And in fact, they sell for a lot of money. Anything that's kind of a general topic sells for very large sums of money, as you can see from these examples here. So just to give you some specific reasons why these are valuable so that you can understand this moving into this strategy. First of all, many people directly type the words they're searching for when into their browser. So, for example, they would enter the word diapers.com because they presume there's going to be a website, and that's known as type-in traffic. Secondly, these types of domain names rank higher in the search results because they match what was searched for and they get clicked more. It makes sense, and that is what happens with the search engines, not just Google, but the other search engines too. And then third, internet users tend to trust these types of domain names as an authority website, because if you come across a website that is an exact match for what you've typed in, people tend to think, well, this must be the main website or the leader in this industry. Does that make sense? I hope so. So they have very high credibility and authority. They're viewed as authority sites. So in a nutshell, in essence, they get more visitors. That's why these domain names are valuable. So here's how we can make money with exact match domains. Here's how you can make money. Here's the process defined very simply. We find, register, and resell EMDs to relevant businesses that understand the value of having a memorable domain name. Okay, I'm going to repeat that so that you really understand it. You find, register, and resell EMDs to relevant businesses that understand the value of having a memorable domain name, or an EMD. So again, we want to approach local businesses because these are by far the easiest ones they're the easiest ones to approach. They're the easiest ones to understand the power of these exact match domain names. And as you'll see, the field is wide open for registering domain names in these particular industries. Pause a little bit for breath. Okay, here's the process then. First of all, step one, you use a free resource called exactdomaintool.com, and choosing one of these types of businesses, you can see the first one in the list is hotel. You enter the word hotel with a geographic region, and I recommend that you do start locally, although it's nothing to limit you from doing this anywhere in the world. So I've put in here to my region, hotels in Park City, hotels in Salt Lake City, where I live, hotels in Provo, which is near where I live, Grand America, Salt Lake City, which is a spin-off because that's the name of a specific hotel, and then Shiloh Inn, which is the name of another specific hotel, because that's the hotels that came to my mind when I was doing this. So enter those keywords into this tool, and what it'll show you is wherever you see the green check mark, that means the domain is available. The exact match domain name is available. You can see the different columns there for .com, .net, and so on. What we're particularly interested in is .com, .net, .org. Those are the most valuable. So you can see here that there's a lot that are available. And this is what you'll find. This is why this strategy is so exciting, because there's so many opportunities. So few exact match domain names have been registered at this point in time for local business types that this is a tremendous opportunity. Now, as the next step is to simply register each of those domain names. So as you can see, that's what I did here, hotelsinprovo.net. And if you search, I use GoDaddy. I like to use GoDaddy. If you search for GoDaddy coupon on Google, typically you can find a coupon that will enable you to register a domain name for a couple of dollars, certainly under $10 maximum. Okay. I see Susan asked about trademarks. I'll come back to that, Susan, at the end there when I answer questions, and I'll be happy to talk about that. As an advanced technique, this is optional for finding even more exact match domain names. If you go to the website leandomainsearch.com, how this works is if you type in your main keyword, which was for me Salt Lake City Hotel, what this will do is it'll add various words on the beginning or the end of what I've put in, and it will, behind the scenes, it will see if those domain names are available. So you can see here everything in green is available. So it's opened up even more domain names as exact match domain names. Now, not all of these will be relevant, but many of them will be. So it's a question of just looking through this list and seeing, and you'll immediately tell, oh, that's a phenomenal domain name. And, or, you know, ones that you think, oh, well, that's not so relevant. So get the idea. And that's a way of getting even more exact match domain names. So in less than 2 minutes, by doing this exact process, I found 21 exact match domain names for just one popular keyword, which was hotels. And that was in my city. So I found, among others, saltlakehotels.org, Salt Lake City Airport Hotels.org, hotels in Park City.org, and I found GrandAmericaSaltLakeCity.com. and many others. These are just some examples. So you can see this is really a phenomenal strategy because there's so many that are available to you. So that's how you register the domain. That's how you find the domain names, and that's how you register them. Now we want to make some money. How do we do this? There's 3 ways to do this. They all work. Simply pick the ones that you want to do. The first one is simply to list the domain on, or domains on, a site called Sedo.com. Now, Sedo is the world's largest marketplace for selling domain names. So if you were to list your domain names on here, they'll help you value them. And this has the largest collection of buyers who regularly go here looking for domain names. So you can list them and ready for people to buy. It's a very simple process. The next option is to list them on godaddy.com/auctions, which again is a very popular service. And again, a very simple way to make money back from the exact match domains that you've registered. And then the final way, which is a little more effort, but you can tend to make more money using this method, is let me take you through the process. Very simple, and I think you'll find it quite ingenious, even if I do say so myself. If you go to yellowpages.com, search for the type of business that you got your initial batch of exact match domains in. So let's say it was plumbers. So search plumbers and search for the region that you specified or targeted. What you'll find is you'll see there are 540 results in this particular region, okay? But at the very top of the search results, there's a big batch of businesses in a blue box, which is where it says featured businesses. Now, each of those businesses has a website. And the reason why you want to contact each of those businesses, because the ones at the top in that featured businesses box excuse me, I'm getting excited because I'm getting to the good part here. All of these people, they're paying for their listing. So they see the value in promoting their business. They already see the value in promoting their business because they're paying a lot of money to Yellow Pages to do exactly that. And really what you're offering is the same thing, just via a different method, which is the exact match domain name. So click on the website, which you can see in circled in red. In red there, I apologize. Oh dear, I'm so dry. In red, and I will make it, don't worry. And you'll go to their website and then simply use the contact form on their website to make contact. And this is what you say. This is what I say. I live locally and I'm selling the domain name saltlakecityplumber.com, which would obviously give you more business and a huge advantage over the other plumbers in this area. I'm selling it for $250 and I've sent this offer to 4 other plumbers. So it's first come, first served. Let me know if you have any questions. My name is, you can reach me at, and then give your number. Now, the real genius, the real reason why this works so well is because that phrase, I've sent this offer to 4 other plumbers. These are all people, remember, who have paid Yellow Pages to promote their business. So they're serious about getting business. And by telling them that you've sent it to 4 other plumbers, which you will, because there's no reason not to, they don't want to miss out. So you will tend to get a response pretty quickly from the right people. They don't want it to go to another. Think about it. If you were a plumber and you were offered saltlakecityplumber.com for a reasonable price, would you want another plumber in your area to have that domain name? Of course not. That's why this is so effective. And you genuinely can send it to those other plumbers because you've got their details very accessible, easy to reach through yellowpages.com. So how much should you charge for these exact match domain names? Well, it's impossible to give a standard answer to that because it depends on what the person's willing to pay for it. Now, the 2 factors that really affect the valuation are, first of all, the geographic region. So you may, as you may expect, a large city is obviously going to generate a higher price than a small town because there's more demand and there's more population in that area. The second factor that affects it, the valuation, the second factor that affects the valuation is the type of business. So if it's a business where the profit margins are very high, let's say like a plastic surgeon or a lawyer, those types of businesses will tend to pay more for an exact match domain name. So I hope that makes sense. Pretty logical. So you just have to, you really have to just pluck a figure out of the air as to what you think it's worth and see what response you get. If you get people very quickly come back to you, then probably you've priced it a little too low. If you don't get responses, then probably a little too high. So you just have to refine it, and you'll soon get to kind of get a feel for it in your local area. Some extra guidelines for you. Always pick local business niches. Avoid the large business types or product types or companies. It's much easier to do this if you pick local businesses, just as I showed you in the big list. You want to avoid dashes in the domain name. So if I was registering Salt Lake City, for example, I would avoid salt-lake-city. Google doesn't like that, and most people don't like to buy domain names with those dashes in there. So you want to don't use dashes. As a guideline, 4 words maximum for a .com or 3 words for a .net and .org. That's not a rule, but it's a principle to show you that the shorter, the better, really. Use the geographic add-on of your local town or city. The add-on can be at the start of the domain name or at the end. So it could be plumber, Salt Lake City, or it could be Salt Lake City, plumber. Get the idea? I think that's pretty straightforward. So let's summarize this method. First of all, you pick a keyword from the list, local business type. Use the exact domain tool to find exact match domains. The optional process of finding even more was using leandomainsearch.com. Register the available domains. I like to use GoDaddy, and then resell them online or locally to business owners. Now, how do you transfer the domain name? It's very simple. If the other person buying it doesn't have a GoDaddy account, just ask them to register for GoDaddy. It's free. And then in your control panel on GoDaddy, there's a button next to the domain name that says transfer this domain name. And then it'll give you the option of entering the account number of the buyer. And that's it. It's that simple. Everything else is done for you behind the scenes. I like to charge in advance, just as I do with the mobile website strategy. I get the money up front, and then I deliver within 7 to 10 days. If you're upfront and honest and explain everything in ways that they can understand, there's no reason for them to doubt you, and it ensures that you're going to get paid. So again, you want to start with these business types for the exact match domains, because these are the business types. And this is not a comprehensive list, but I'm just showing you local business types are the best ones to use because they are wide open and with availability for exact match domains. Some comments from people that have done this already, students. Jean from New York said, Andrew, I want to give you an update. I'm having great fun and making big money selling domain names. Your exact match domain strategy makes me more money than any other type of system I've come across. Tangisai from Sydney, this one was great actually. He said, Andrew, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank you for the skills you taught us at the Money Now event. I'm excited to report that through your exact match domain technique, I've just been offered $20,000 for one of my domains that I paid approximately $20 for, and I've only just started. Thank you. Your training has indeed already changed my life for the better. Now, I'm not going to guarantee, of course, that you're going to hit the jackpot like Tangisai did within a few days of starting the training, but it shows you what's possible. It's absolutely feasible and possible to hit it big. But even if you don't, even if you just make a modest amount of money, a few $100 every time in exchange for less than $10, I think you'll agree that this is well worth it. And I hope that I've made the process very simple for you. So quick recap of what we've learned today, and I'll then show you what I have available for you. And don't forget, I'm going to be answering questions, and we've got the prize giveaway too to come up. So for mobile website arbitrage, you saw on the screen a simple way that you can offer a very simple service for over $199 that cost you just $5 to get done. So it's an arbitrage because you're buying it so inexpensively, and you're then selling it on at a market price that's realistic for your area. And then for exact match domains, we looked at a strategy that showed you how you can register these types of domain names for under $10 on GoDaddy. I showed you how you can find them, and I showed you how you can sell them for a lot more money, anywhere from really a couple of $100, I think, would be a minimum for these local business types of domain names. So here's a question to ponder. What would you do with an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month every month. Think about that. What would that mean to you? Because really, that's what we're talking about here. That's why I created these methods initially for myself, and that is certainly feasible. And many people are doing much, much more, as you've seen. Another question to ponder is this. Imagine if you had 10 strategies like this, with each one taking less than 30 minutes to implement. Imagine if you had 10 strategies like this. So I've shown you 2, and with each one taking less than 30 minutes to implement, each one completely different, each one not requiring a website, each one not requiring specialist technical skills. That's exactly what I've done. Over the years, I've developed a number of strategies. I have 10 at the moment, and I'm trialing another 3 at the moment. For example, the misspelling strategy. These are all ones that I've created and tested and proven. Apple arbitrage, crazy couponing, YouTube, Amazon Turk, public domain profits, unconventional eBay, and so on. These are some of the examples. Ryan in California said, thanks to your Money Now program, I'm consistently making at least $7,000 in iPhone sales on eBay every month, part-time. That's a very specific Money Now strategy that involves broken iPhones. I can't say more than that at this point, but it's, you know, again, some people just resonate with different strategies. So what I have available for you today is Money Now. Now, some of you may have heard me mention this program before. I sell this day in, day out for $995. In fact, if you go to moneynowmethods.com, that is the price, and I have customers every day at that fee. And I think it's a very fair price to charge because, as you've seen, you can easily recoup that amount of money, your investment, in less than a couple of hours using the methods that I've shown you. And I just showed you 2. So, however, of course, with a webinar like this, I like to give you a very special offer, which I am going to do today. And I'm going to show you more about what it is, what you get, and how it will benefit you. So first of all, what is it? Well, it's an online membership site that has, at the moment, 10 different Money Now methods. It has the 2 that I showed you. It has the 10 total that I've tested and proven, all different, as varied as the ones that I've shown you. None of them require you to have a website. None of them require you to have a list. None of them require you to have any technical knowledge. Everything is explained to you. You follow the steps. It's all video training, and follow the steps for each method. And of course, you can pause the video at any point to recap and then implement. And also, my support is there for you. I answer all your questions. I help you in anything that you need help with. And basically, I'm there for you. So, and that support is directly with me. I don't outsource the support. If you ask a question, I will be the one to help you. And I'm happy to do that. I enjoy it. So it's a fast, easy, and fun way of learning these different methods. You also get unlimited lifetime access. There's no requirement to start at a specific time point. You can do this as you have time, whenever you have time. You can dive in there, you know, maybe for half an hour in an evening or that kind of thing, and then just implement for an hour or so. So, you know, whatever time you have, that's the wonderful thing about this is they're each of these methods take less than 30 minutes to implement, and you can get results very, very quickly, certainly within 2 hours. What's included? You get all of the methods plus any methods that I have tested in the future and add to there. And like I said, my support for you personally, one-on-one, whatever questions you ask me, I will be there for you to answer. You also get all the templates and blueprints that I've developed, complete set of checklists, the ads that I've developed, all these other details for some of the other methods that I've developed, and basically everything that you need. So it's a turnkey blueprint system. Who's it for? Anybody that wants to make money fast. This is not about making millions online. This is about making money now through simple methods that anybody can do. That's what it's for. It's designed for people that want to enhance their cash flow rather than, you know, a vehicle to get financially free or, you know, true wealth. That's through other channels. But this will enable you to get your cash flow up to pay the bills, to pay your mortgage, car payment, to have extra vacations, and that kind of thing. Who's it not for? Well, it's not for you if you feel or if you believe that this is some kind of magic pill where everything's going to be done for you and there's no effort involved in your part. You obviously have to do something, but it's not difficult. I support you. Everything's explained in detail. But it's worth mentioning, you know, I'm not going to deceive you into thinking that that you don't have to do anything. How will you benefit? Well, the wonderful thing is the sky's the limit. It's completely up to you as to what you want to earn. So if you only have, you know, half an hour spare in a week, then you can make a little bit of extra money. But if you want to do it part-time or full-time, you can, there's no upper limit on what you can earn. And like I said, it can pay some of those bills that we all have, like car payments and mortgage and, you know, vacations and things like that. What's the investment? Well, like I mentioned to you, this is available every day at moneynowmethods.com. Probably some of you have seen this already. When I first launched it, I sent out an email and it's $1,000. Excuse me, let me take a... See, I'm getting excited again, getting to the good part. So $1,000, and I think that is a very reasonable investment, simply because it's very easy to show you the return on investment. That's what it's all about. It's not about how much it is, really. It's how much, what's the return on investment, how much you're going to get back from it. I think that's very logical, hopefully, and you can see that. However, it's not going to be $995 for this special event. In fact, I am going to give you the lowest fee price that I've ever offered for this. And the reason I'm doing this is, first of all, to as a way of thanking you for coming on live to this event, for giving up your time, which I appreciate. I don't take it for granted. There's all kinds of things you could do with your time, and I always want to provide value to you. So I hope that I've provided value in the systems that I've already given you for free. And if you want to benefit from Money Now, I want you to be able to implement this very quickly and without having to spend a lot of money to do that. And so for that reason, for this webinar only, I'm going to make this available to you for, it says $297 on the screen, but actually for you, I've actually reduced it even more. Now, here's the deal. You can grab this offer for just $197. So it's a $995 value. That's the regular price that I charge day in, day out, and you can verify that for yourself. For $197, which is a humongous discount. Now, not only that, but I'm also going to add something into the mix to further sweeten the pot for you. I'm also going to bundle in with this my ultimate video vault, which is the world's largest internet business training video library. It covers more than 23 categories of different things that you need to know in your business, like copywriting, outsourcing, sales, advertising, marketing, online video, and many, many more topics. And it's a huge video training library. I call it the Netflix for business. It's a $324 value for 1 year's access, and I'm going to bundle that in there for you. So what you're getting today is, I sound like I'm on QVC. That's what I feel like now. Is you're going to get for $1,324 value, or actually with $995, what would that be? It would be, I'm doing the quick math on the fly here. That would be a $1,319 value, to be exact. $1,319 value for both Ultimate Video Vault and Money Now methods, complete with my support one-on-one to help you succeed. All 10 methods for $197. So you can either click on the link on the right-hand side where it says add to cart to get that offer, or you can go to moneyNowOffer.com. And like I said, that offer is available to you now. You can register for this offer at moneyNowOffer.com just while this webinar is on at that special rate. And that won't be repeated. I hope you can see the value that I've put in that for you. Certainly with my support, it should be a no-brainer for you. Congratulations to those of you that have already invested. And now I'd love to take your questions. So if you have a question for me, please type it in the chat box on the right-hand side, and we can go through these and I can clarify anything that you need clarification on, or anything that you think I didn't cover. Renee said, is the Ultimate Video Vault bonus for 1 year with this special offer? Yes, it is. So 1 year for Ultimate Video Vault, which is a $324 value, and then the Money Now methods is unlimited for lifetime access, so you can access that whenever you like. Sally says, what do we ask the Fiverr person to create exactly? All they'll need to know is what the domain name is of the website that you want the mobile version created for. You just send them that, and they'll do the rest behind the scenes. So like I said, you know, when we understand more about e-commerce and technology, which I know many of you do who are on this webinar now, we tend to overcomplicate things in our own minds because we are aware of the possibilities. But what you got to remember is the average website owner of a small business locally, they don't know what you know. And that's why if you approach them and say, you know, this is what we can do for you, or if they're asking, you know, can you create this? Either way, all you're doing is saying, yes, we can do that for you. This is how much it is, and you'll get a version of your site that is much more easily viewable. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. So like I say, our own kind of advanced knowledge tends to overcomplicate things for us. But that's why I wanted to reassure you that I've never had anyone complain about what we've created for their mobile site. I've never had anyone say, oh, you know, I don't like that, or can you change that? They just, you know, they're happy to have a mobile version for their site, you know. And, you know, even if someone was to say, oh, could you change something? Most of these Fiverr providers offer revisions included in the price. So it's really not an issue. Olive said, not a question, but Olive, thanks, Andrew. I knew you from UIBC. Yeah, UIBC was a training event I did, Ultimate Internet Bootcamp, a few years ago. Nice to hear from you, Olive. Yeah, glad you mentioned that. Tiffany says, thank you for your insight, encouragement, and inspiration. You're welcome. I'm always pumped after your shows. Thank you, Tiffany. That's nice of you. When selling domain names, are they permanent sales, or do they have a time limit in which they go back to your ownership? Okay, that's a good question. So when you sell a domain name, but by the way, just to clarify so everybody's on the same page, when you buy the domain name, you only need to buy for 1 year. So all domain names work on a yearly basis, and they give you the option of paying for more years, but of course you don't. It's not wise to do that because you're going to resell it. So buy it for 1 year, which is the lowest price. But what that means is when you sell it, you are selling it for the remainder of that period to the person who buys it. So it's their responsibility to renew it. And most people realize that. And even if they don't realize it, GoDaddy will send the reminders, or whoever the domain company is that you registered it with, they'll send plenty of reminders. Peggy asks, will business owners who are uninformed understand a suggested price for the exact match domain name? Yes, because remember, we're targeting business owners who are already spending some money on their business. The very fact that they have a website means that they are somewhat interested in promoting their business. Because an exact match domain name in itself is inherently appears credible and as an authority, you really don't have to convince them, because like in the example that I showed you, if you approach a plumber and you say, I can offer you, let's use another example, denverplumber.com. It's obvious to them, the value of that. They don't need to be persuaded that it's worth more than an average domain name. So again, you know, if you follow the approach that I've laid out, it's very straightforward. I mean, of course, from time to time, you'll get someone who just, you know, is being silly and offers you $50. But these domain names are valuable for the reasons that I mentioned. I showed you 3 reasons why they are valuable. Peggy said, you said the price of exact match domain names depends on what someone would be willing to pay. Do you suggest a price? Yeah, you know, what I meant by that is that I can't tell you what to charge because it will vary depending on the business type and the area. If you're selling an exact match domain name in Los Angeles or New York or London or Sydney, then that's going to be worth a lot more than if you were selling it in, you know, a small town in Nebraska, for example. Okay. And then, of course, the other business types, a plastic surgeon is going to pay more than a plumber. Okay, so that's really that's what I meant by that. And I do ask for a specific amount. I don't just let them offer me something. I go in and I say, you know, this domain is worth, you know, $500 or whatever it is. And of course, you know, you have to start somewhere. You've got to come up with a figure. And like I said, you can quickly gauge it, because if you get a lot of people come back to you and say, yep, I want it, then you know that you've priced it a little too low. If you don't get anyone come back to you, then you know you've priced it too high. And that's how you learn for your area and for the different types of businesses. Tim says, why not just point the domain name so that you can rent it for recurring income? You could do that. You know, I just like to have a clean cut business transaction where I get the return right away and it's done. I don't have any hassles collecting money on an ongoing basis. So, you know, there's nothing to stop you renting it, but my preference would be to just sell it directly. I find it's easier, cleaner, and you know, that's why I recommend that method. Joey says, you usually can't transfer a new domain name for a certain amount of time. How do you get around that? That's absolutely true. A lot of domain names have a short period of time after you've registered them where you can't transfer them. However, there's nothing it doesn't stop you selling it. So, and it also doesn't stop the client using it. So this is a little more advanced, but I'll explain it, and I'm sure a lot of you will understand what I mean by this. as soon as you've registered the domain name, you can sell it. Before the period is over where you aren't allowed to transfer it to someone else, what you can do is you can point that domain name to their server, which means that they can use it. They can gain the benefit of it pending the transfer. Okay. There's a process to do that. The domain name company like GoDaddy can help you to do that. It's using something called DNS. So you can sell it, they can use it, and then when that period expires, which I think is usually 60 days, then you can actually transfer it to their account. Okay, but that's how to overcome that. Liz said, if you have some domains you want to sell, but they're not geographically linked, how do you go about pricing them? For example, something like rhinomentor.com, which is a reference to a book or trainer. With that kind of thing, you just have to, I mean, there are services like Sedo that can help you value a domain. But beyond that, you just have to come up with what you think would be reasonable in the marketplace. You can research what other domains are selling for. But quite honestly, the best method that I found is to do exactly what I taught in this training, which is to target local businesses. So if you go outside of that, you'll just have to come up with the price on your own and then gauge it, like I said, using the methods that I mentioned. Peggy said, if the client buys it for, let's say, $1,000, does the client renew it at GoDaddy's renewal price? Yes. Everybody that buys a domain name understands that what they're buying is the quality of the domain name. So they know that when they come to renew it, they'll only have to pay the standard rate, which would be, the $10 or $20 that GoDaddy charges them. That's a good question. Money now offered to take advantage of this special, which has I forget the figure that I mentioned, $1,300 and something value, unlimited access, unlimited support with me personally, and you also get a year access to Ultimate Video Vault, which is a $324 value. And that's the world's largest, most comprehensive internet business video training library, which in itself is a whole marketing education that's extremely valuable. Okay, well, that's it for now. Look out for future episodes of Help My Business. I am in the process of redesigning the show with some new features. There's going to be a lot more frequent episodes starting in August. So I hope that's something to look forward to. I'm excited about it. I've had kind of a nice semi-retirement for a couple of years, but I'm eager to get back to giving you those episodes